Anywho, who's next?
And
so how many of you
want
brought
to take
up,
this,
James?
Brandon?
No, how many of you brought up?
I think I brought up 3.
Okay, so then we're down to the last 2. I'll start with this one because since we named my number 1, I'll do honorable mentions at that point.
Cool.
But my number 2 is Scrooged.
Classic. Fucking Bill Murray.
I love that fucking movie. Even the beginning, like just the fake movie with Lee Majors, the year of the rain or the night the reindeer died. I have that on a shirt.
Lee Majors.
Oh yeah.
Lee Majors. Oh god, it's so good. And I mean, even just like we were talking about with Elf, the amount of people that appear in this movie that just kill their roles, like Bobcat Goldthwait. I mean, God, man, everybody in that movie is so good. And Bill Murray, just for being the funny guy and just about everything, to be this kind of like heartless asshole and still be hysterical, it kills it for me every time.
And the dude he fires and then he comes back to the shotgun, like that scene is so fucking funny because you don't know what's gonna happen.
That's Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah,
So
I love too when he's getting fired and he's like, well, Mr. Cross, I really think like we should be more. And he's just like, oh yeah, thank you. So he's like, fire that man. And then he like times it. He times it to him getting out of the building. He's got the telescope in his office looking at him on the curb. Like, oh, it's so good.
And then his Bob Cratchit when he's got like the fucking golf ball coming out of his head.
Oh, that's such a good scene, man. And it looks terrifying.
Is Marley.
Bob
I said Cratchit.
Yeah.
My bad. That's right. My bad. It is Marley. God, yeah. I was in A Christmas Carol and I can't keep this shit straight.
Well, even John Glimmer, like that dude, Gremlins 2, Smallville, like that dude is like in everything. Again, he's almost like William Atherton. You don't know his name. He being the jerk who's kind of trying to take over for Bill Murray's character. And he's like, oh, yeah, remember we met at Spago. It's like you were just name dropping shit and just being a dick the whole time. Yeah, I went to college and played rugby with the boss's son. I'm like,
oh, yeah, no, he's such a prick.
Yeah, he's like, okay, break time, dinner. Oh, wait, everybody come back. He calls dinner. Frank calls dinner. My bad. Frank,
yeah, he's like, do you want to do it? And hands him the megaphone.
Condescending, what a dick. Yeah.
And then even Robert Mitchum as the the executive or whatever. And like, do you know how many animals, how many pets watch TV?
He's been in some hardcore, like dark movies. And he's like,
man, Night of the Hunter, man.
Talk about cats and making movies for cats. And you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
How do you want us to get the glue won't hold? How do you want us to get the antlers on the little mice? You can staple them. You better not.
Who was the narrator for like the TV movie? Because he was like a.
If you wouldn't have asked, we would have had. But
John Houseman, and he is famous for being just a spokesman. And I can't remember what it was. It was some financial institute, and I can't remember what it was. But his saying, it was almost like James Earl Jones with CNN. It was that famous. So when he shows up at this, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like they got John Houseman to be the voice of this thing.
That's Holy so shit. Good.
And I love it when he's like, I'm so done with this shit. And he just up and leaves.
But Buddy Hackett, and these are old school actors that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he was in Herbie, like growing up.
Yeah.
Loved the Herbie movies. Buddy Hackett, awesome comedian. Robert Goulet, like I didn't know who this dude was. I just knew
man, Robert Goulet.
I find out like he's a
so
huge recruiter. Like, I didn't know that. I just knew him this. Amy Farr, like he's barely in this movie, but he's like hilarious. It's just his background. I can't remember. He might be the Bob Cratchit. I can't remember.
And then Ghost of Christmas Past. What was it? Buster Poindexter.
Buster Poindexter, and present was Carol Kane.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God,
the Nutcracker Suite.
When she's repeating it back to him when they're doing the trivia, he's like, I can hear.
Oh my God! When he's in the elevator with Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and he's like, "Oh wow, makeup guys did really good on this one."
Good.
But we haven't even talked about Karen Allen. Like, I love her. Indiana Jones. She is just amazing, and she plays this like every woman who we all fall in love with because Frank Cross's dick, and she's
He
just this
sucks.
cute sweetheart. And at the end, when like boating to Marlin, and I'm like, oh God, Claire, world, Claire, and I'm like, I love this fucking movie.
It's so good. Honestly, talking about her, like she's like you were saying, the whole movie, you're just like, oh my God, like there's the sweetest woman in the world. You see why he felt this way for her, and even when they do the Christmas Yet to Come,
Oh,
and you see her like closed off and all cold,
break 'em all.
it actually like it's so uncomfortable to see. You're like, oh my God, like not her, like it's.
Yeah. How could you do that to her? Like a friend once told me, great bit of advice, scrape them off, Claire. It's like,
And I misspoke in case anyone gets me in the comments. Bobcat wouldn't be Cratchit. Cratchit is his assistant, the secretary, who
Yeah.
also her story is
Alfred
so good in
Woodard.
that movie.
Can you
Yes.
believe that? Alfred Woodward is, I mean, she's an amazing actress. And here she is, just sort of this guest star almost, but she just drives the movie because she's, again, us. Like, why am I dealing with this asshole? But she clearly needs the money and all that. And then she's got her little Tiny Tim.
She asked what she wants to send her brother for or his brother for Christmas, and he says the towel. And then he gets pissed when he sees that he got the VCR player.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, oh my
Not
God, I told her
allowed.
to send the towel.
Which
Like,
is awesome
And
because that's his brother in real life, Bill Murray's brother in real life.
is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one who is his dad in the movie.
That's his brother. I know. I recognize that brother.
As well. Yeah.
Oh no
I
shit!
love that. Love
oh
that.
my
kid.
God. My favorite is it's like the dancers, and he's like, show a little more nip. And it's like, why the fuck are they in Christmas Carol?
Well,
and
no,
then
he says
Tiny
it's like-
Tim being a gymnast?
No, he's
It's
like, you can't see the nipple, can you? And the
Because
guy's
those
like,
guys are
"I don't see a
trying.
nipple."
Because those guys are trying to see the nipple. They can barely see it.
And then Tiny Tim being a gymnast. It's like, what? No.
Oh yeah, Mary Lou.
Mary Lou Retton.
Yeah.
Famous Mary Lou Retton. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just such a stupid good movie.
To go back to the flashback with his dad when he throws him the veal, and he's like, "Do you know how much that costs? Like, that's a gift."
Oh my God, the Ghost of Christmas Past in that is immaculate. Such a good
yeah, the
actor.
Buster point. He's from the New York Dolls.
Yeah, wow.
Can you get me to the IBC building? 5 minutes? What floor?
What floor?
Love it. Do you recognize? I love this one too. You know me. I watch a movie and I'm like, I see people in the background. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe. Are you familiar with Kathy Kinney? She's the nurse that takes care of that woman who sees the nipple, and she's on the ground and she's taking care of her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you know who that woman is? She's also in Pulp Fiction briefly, almost the same thing when Bruce Willis runs into Marcellus Wallace, and she's a bystander. She's Mimi from the Drew Carey Show, the one with all the makeup. And
Shut up! Are you serious?
Dead serious.
I never knew that.
Cracks me up. Every time I see her, I'm like, oh my God, it's Mimi. Love it. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know that on either account.
Wow,
And
we're
my other
playing
favorite
degrees
one
of
is-
separation here.
The solid gold dancers. Those are the ones
Yeah.
with the little nipple. They were got cast, all set to go. Big deal. They got like canceled like right after that. They used to be a big thing, like not quite to the right.
Yeah.
It used to be a big thing. And then they didn't make it past the movie. Like literally the movie got released and they no longer existed.
No
Which is-
shit.
What they allude to, James, in your out cold reference, the solid gold dancers when they're in the ski lift.
That's
Nice.
crazy. I
But
did not
another
know
famous
that.
one, Wendy Malick. Like she's amazing in everything she does, and she is the sister-in-law to Frank Cross, who's in playing the game, board games and all that. And she's on the couch.
Oh,
Yeah, like this movie is chock full of people. Love it.
it's
Yeah.
wonderful. Love
It's a
Scrooge.
great movie.
Yeah, I just love that ending. And guys, this is how old I am. I saw it in the theater, Medina Theater, old sticky floors and all that bullshit. Yet at the end, when Bill Murray's like, no, the real men, let's hear from the real men in the theater. And I'm like, oh my God.
I wish I could have seen it in the theater for that part of the credits when he's talking to the people in the theater. Like
It was awesome. And I was just
that's so cool.
loved it. Good call.
All right. If I may jump in here and keep with the theme
Jump
of
in.
telling Christmas Carol again, I'm going to go with a very recent one, Spirited. Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds.
That movie's great.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. It's so good. And I love how it spins Christmas Carol in such a unique way compared to everything else. The Good Afternoon song is like one of the best pieces of modern musical music ever.
That was one of those
love
ones
Spirited.
where it was so popular, like it was going to be a hit immediately just because of Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. And I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to watch it. No way, I'm not going to fall for this. Can't give in to the saccharine Christmas movies. And then I watched it. I'm like, oh my God, that was so good. Oh my God. Like I'm watching it again and again and again. And just the twist of who Will Ferrell is. Like I did not see that coming. Had no clue.
Dude.
Genius way to tell this story.
Yeah, that's another. I was gonna watch it, and I was like, I'm sure it'll be fun or whatever. But like, I think that goes to what we were talking about earlier of just like Christmas movies being a little more like every once in a while being a little more well done and thought out. And yeah, when you get to the twist in this, I remember being like, holy shit! Like this whole time.
Oh. And I just love the dick that Ryan Reynolds is. Like, all right, I just want to ask. You could ask me one question. 10. What? No, 1. Fine. 5. 2. 8. But we'll settle on 3. He's like supposed to not be in control, but he's like running the whole show here, and it's fucking hilarious until Marley shows up back to bed. I'm like, I fucking love this movie.
Oh, I'm making a rap sheet for a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Octavia Spencer, and it's so funny. Alice and I were talking about this because she's like, I wonder why they didn't approach Hugh Jackman. And I'm like, why? Because he's a great singer and dancer. He would have obviously made everybody else look bad. So you get somebody who is not necessarily known for that, like Ryan Reynolds, so that they're all on par and nobody sticks out as awful. Whereas they're all sort of just good enough to make a good movie as far as the singing movie.
Yeah,
I completely agree with that.
Such a good movie. It's such a good retelling of Christmas Carol with just a brilliant twist. Again, the musical numbers are really, really good. And I'm glad they didn't put the one that they have in the end credits with like the water and the splashing. But it's like Ripple, even as like just a little like end credits kind of real thing, it's still such a good song, even if it was cut. And all the other ones are so good. It's just a great modern retelling of Christmas Carol, and it's surprisingly compelling. Like, you go into Christmas Carol and you're like, oh, cool. You have the douchebag who's like, I hate everything. Oh, no. And then they teach him the error of their ways. And then in this one, it's like, I hate everything. I'm going to be a manipulative dick and make the dude who's trying to show me the error of my ways another dick and win. And it's like, why has nobody thought of this yet?
It was such a cool little take on it. Like it was just a fun twist. Like everything about it, either that part of the story and then finding out who Will Ferrell is. Like it was a very really well done movie, and I bet that movie would be much bigger than it is if it wasn't just on Apple.
Yes, absolutely.
I think so. But the nice thing about that is the soundtrack is also on Apple, so it's.
They got that.
I would like to now profess my love for Sunita Amani. The Ghost of Christmas Past. Oh my God, do I love her? Like I vaguely remember her being in Glow, the wrestling show on.
Oh, dude, she's so good. Like
I love her. Nobody's been up my beeswax for a long time. He's unredeemable. Well, he redeemed himself a little bit. I'm like,
I thought that was good.
Hey, these little one-liners. Love him.
And he's so manipulative. That whole movie, like it's great.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
And then to have what's his name? Why did I just forget his name? Ghost of Christmas Future. Tracy Morgan.
Oh yes. Fuck, man.
Where's my coffee?
I just want to talk just once. You got what? Christmas bitched or whatever. I can't remember what he said. It's like fucking.
You just got Christmas, bitch.
We got to kill her now, don't we?
Anything Tracy Morgan does is amazing. Like
oh my God. It's almost as good as 30 Rock when he's like, what's his character's name in that? Tracy
Jordan.
Tracy Jordan. He's like, my name's not Tracy Jordan. It's Tracy Morgan. This is a TV show. And they're like, no, calm down.
It's
so good.
Cameo. Rose Byrne, like she has no reason to have to be in this, but she's in the beginning as this minor character. And then my favorite cameo of all time. Can you guys guess it? Do you even remember?
Was it
Judi Dench?
Character's mom?
Fucking Judi Dench just
Judi Dench is. Yep.
Oh my God.
What? And they're like, is that really Judi Dench? I loved her in Chocolat.
Yeah, it's so good.
fucking hilarious. I love it. I love Uncle Owen. You mean like Star Wars? Yeah, Uncle Owen. Love it. So good. I
Such a
watched
good
that movie
movie.
several times. Love it, love it, love it. So good, so good. Yeah, agreed. Good call. Oh, and his sister, Carrie, who it's the sympathetic turn in this one, Andrea Anders, versus the Ted Lasso, where she's kind of the treating Ted not so well. But she's amazing in this. Anyway, this when Will Ferrell makes fun of the elf outfit, fucking hilarious. Love it. Just so many good things. Hey, New York, I'm gonna take the shower once a month. You're like, wow.
Yeah,
So good. So good.
Good call.
Good afternoon.
So what's up next for you, Jimmy?
I will go with another one that we've sort of referenced. And again, I thought this was going to be, when it was released, I'm like, dude, you're just trying to pick up on this nostalgia. This is bullshit. No way. A Christmas Story Christmas. I watched this and was not expecting anything. I'm not even the biggest fan of A Christmas Story. Like, there's things in it that I like, but it's not my favorite. And they play it.
You could have fooled me over all the years. The amount of times you bring that up with Ohio.
Wait, what? Did you make a reference to Ohio?
No!
Oh my God. It was filmed in Cleveland. How did I not? Brandon?
You brought this upon yourself, Brandon.
But this
he really set me up for that one.
This sequel is so good, so touching, and it really, to me, surpasses the original that we've talked about with Bob Clark and his Black Christmas, but also
people are going to come for
and
you in the comments.
If I may say, the lady from Airplane being the mom is like one of the best recastings ever because she is fucking hilarious.
Yes, and that is what gets the way they incorporate the first story, and they just make that the whole reason that and they bring back just about everybody that could from the original. Like you talked about, they recast the mom. I was like, why didn't they bring back Melinda Dillon? She was ill at the time and has since passed away. So totally understand now. But just that movie is so good, so touching. The way they recreate the feel of the original. I just can't put my finger on it. I just thoroughly love it. And then the ending when he realizes, no, he is the novelist. He has told this amazing story that is not about whatever aliens, robots. I can't even remember what is. It's
basically just Dune. It's basically just Dune.
You were up there 2,000 pages are like, what the fuck did this guy write? It's just so good. I love it. I love the music and the way they bring back his dream sequences, and I just love this movie. I think they really nailed it.
I will say, like, when I watched that, I was shocked at how much I liked it, because I literally thought, like, with Space Jam 2 and all these other continuations, I'm like, this is going to be such a shitty cash grab, but like, it was a thought out, solid sequel.
Agreed. And I think that's what took me by surprise. Like you, I was expecting nothing. And then when it came back and you're like, oh my God. And just the little things like Flick and Schwartz being the same characters, hilarious. And then Scott Farkus and the same actor, which I don't know if you guys know the original story. Like, he never signed a contract to be in the original because he was a cast replacement. So there's been rights issues forever because so for him to come back and be in this, it's like, oh man, Zach Ward. I really enjoy this movie. And if you've held out, you want to be that guy who's like, no, the original's amazing, I'm not going to give in to this sequel. It's like, guys, this movie is so good. It's surprisingly good. Highly recommend it. Check it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was I'm right there with you. I did not want to give that the time of day, and I'm so happy that I did, because it is a really good follow-up.
Yeah, I just love it. Love it.
Christmas Story was another one where I was little. I'm like, oh, not again. And then as I grew up, I learned to appreciate it. And watching this movie and getting the adult perspective, and Ralphie is still Ralphie, but he's like, it's like adult things, and it hits so different. And then the ending where it fades into the narration of the original, and it's the street of the original. I
Yep.
was in tears because I'm like, you motherfuckers, why you gotta make me cry?
What street did he grow up in? I can't remember.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Cleveland Street.
So
Okay,
his
even
address is Cleveland Street
I'm
in
mad at
Cleveland,
that one.
Ohio.
Even I'm mad at that one.
Cleveland.
But it's
No,
like,
honestly, Cleveland Street was not set in Cleveland, Ohio.
and
it
I
was
love,
filmed in Cleveland, but it was
yes.
not set in Cleveland.
But I love how both movies play into each other, and it's like you can play both infinitely on end, and it is such a beautiful story. And again, that ending where it fades into the street of the first one, I'm like, I'm in tears. I'm like, stop it. No, I don't want to cry.
I appreciate that Peter Billingsley, who has directed and produced stuff,
Yeah.
had a hand in the story on this one and clearly owned it. Like, if you're going to have me come back, I'm going to have creative juice on this because I don't want you to fuck up this thing that I'm known for.
And it was a great decision. It was a great decision to do because like we were just saying, it was not expecting much and it over delivered and I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
God.
was so good.
The My Old Man, that's when I knew it's like, oh wow, you've cemented this as just a forever classic.
And the three of us can say our old men are all still in the picture. So I do not look forward to this day. But to watch this and you kind of know this is what's going to happen. You're like, yeah, I get it. I get it, Ralphie. That's why it's sad.
Solid choice. James, do you have one more for us?
Oh boy. I'm so glad this wasn't brought up because I feel like this is the perfect universal Christmas movie. As holiday movie, I guess you should say, because it applies to so many. Rise of the Guardians.
Yes. I agree. I hate that movie. Brandon, this is my Christmas 18. Why the hell isn't there a sequel?
Okay, can I tell you something? I was so ready. I shelved myself right now with disappointment for James, and then he picked an actual one. So I'm like, I was actually I don't know if you saw my face just now. I was
like, have you not seen this, Brandon? Are you okay? Like, you're not.
I was actually disappointed that he didn't disappoint me. I was
undisappointed.
I literally was like, I guess Brandon.
Your Christmas 18. That's a good way to put it.
It's so disappointing. There wasn't anything more. I mean, Hugh Jackman as the Easter Bunny is already enough to get me on board. Jude freaking Law as Pitch Black. Oh,
Chris Pine.
I love him.
I love Chris Pine as Jack Frost. Alec Baldwin, obviously,
so good.
Yeah.
Who is the Tooth Fairy?
Oh, I should say I have a crush on this one as well. Isla Fisher is just gorgeous, but her role as the Tooth Fairy, awesome, love it.
And it's such the visual identity of the film is really, really good. Like, it's sad how it hasn't been adopted in other things. Like, I'm impressed that they had the patience to render the fucking sand for Sandman in Pitch Black. But like the fucked up and like weird MC Escher type shit they have with Pitch Black's lair, or like the way the Easter Bunny.
What year did that come out?
I think 2014.
I think that's still like I think it's suffering the curse of some of these.
2012.
Yeah, for sure. Then, like, this is suffering the curse that some of the other ones have suffered over the years of it just being like kind of ambiguously holiday. And I feel like the studio wasn't sure how people were going to react to it, so they didn't put a lot behind it. But
if I remember correctly, Brandon, and this is our Nerd Locker days, it was similar to when the new Muppet movie came out. Republicans, for some reason, came up against this as saying it was a woke movie. And I'm not kidding. Like, they said it was a woke movie, and I'm like, I don't understand. Similar to how they said the Muppet movie was a woke movie, and I'm like,
Jack Frost is a transgender woman.
I mean, what I could do is just not watch something if I don't like it. I don't have to fucking wage a war on it with everything else. Like, Jesus.
Whoa, I don't get
it.
Well,
it doesn't have to make sense. So,
if I remember correctly, that was a knock against the movie and why a large portion didn't even go see it. It's like, are you kidding me? This movie, it's got the feels, man. I love this.
Yeah, 100% it does.
Oh my gosh, the you like kids. Oh, you little Ankabita.
And I will say, this is one of the few movies, and I'm glad you brought this up, James, because I was trying to remember which one Guillermo del Toro was associated with that I actually liked. and it was this one. He was a producer on it.
Yep. Which
And
I mean, you should know if his name is on something, it's going to be at least halfway decent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I don't.
like
I haven't
Team
seen anything with his name on it that I totally regret watching, but I'll have to go through that list. Uh-oh.
Brandon, I
No,
think you've met your
I totally
match.
get- I just do not like his films for the most part, but I like what he does as a filmmaker, meaning how he's breaking new borders and opening new possibilities and making people see things in a different way. But for some reason, I go to Pan's Labyrinth. I get it. That's his history, Mexican history, Spanish history. I get it. But
Yeah,
it's damn sad. I don't like that movie.
I get it. I get what you're saying. With that, I will bring up some honorable mentions for that
Oh, we're
fifth
gonna have
spot.
We're
I
gonna have
hope
to rally through these.
The fifth spot was interchangeable. I did say Bad Santa, but I want the three that were contending with it were A Charlie Brown Christmas, because that will just forever be a beautiful classic, and I love that I get Charlie Brown during the holidays. Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, because that's what I was bringing
Did
up.
you get the
That
doll?
and,
The doll?
that and the Christmas Chronicles. Between Die Hard, Christmas
Oh.
Chronicles, and Jingle All the Way, I get my three favorite action stars in Christmas movies. You get Schwarzenegger, Kurt Russell, and Bruce Willis, and I love that. And the last one is another Ryan Reynolds movie, Just Friends.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I
I
need to take that into account being a Christmas movie. You're right.
I
we
laugh
gotta
my
watch
ass
that.
off at that every.
And he's that version in that sweater,
Oh,
fucking hilarious.
I could have watched all of them be high school students for 2 hours, like
Yeah.
all of them. Was it Chris Klein, right?
Yes, and then the girl, I love her. She's so
Amy Smart.
yes, I love her.
Just him being dusty with the acne and the hair, and
Doesn't he have a
then him
retainer or
being
something?
in the
'Cause I thought we had
fat
a list.
suit. Because he gets, remember, he fucks up his mouth later, and they make him put the retainer in.
That's right.
And he's like, "Put your retainer in. It's gross. It's full of germs."
Such a good movie. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
it's
good one. I hate to admit, and I might lose a nerd card after this. I've never seen Jingle All the Way.
Oh man, I love
Okay.
Jingle All the Way, dude.
We've got two movies to watch when I get back home.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I'm not going to watch Jingle All the Way.
No,
Oh.
you can watch it.
I'm going to Kyle's house and watching it with him.
Sinbad,
I'm sure he's not seen it either.
is the bad guy who's a postman.
Kyle,
It's-
can I come over to watch Jingle All the Way? Because my dad's lame.
No. You got to watch Jingle All the Way, man. I love Jingle All the Way. Like watching Arnold Schwarzenegger run down the street, reciting the 8 reindeer so he can win the prize. He's like running to the studio, and it's just like Arnold being Arnold. I'll always be a fan of. And I think it's the last movie Phil Hartman was in, and he is just the scumbag neighbor who's trying to sleep with the wife, and oh, it's so good. Like when he's in there, he's like, "Oh, your wife's cookies." Oh, and he's like, "Put the cookie down." Like,
put the cookie down.
oh, love that. A couple others we brought up. Christmas Chronicles. Like I said, I think those were very well done.
And I like how they became a family affair in that
this is the best part of the ending of the first one.
No. The dad who passed away is Kurt Russell's stepson.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's what's her name? Goldie Hawn's son. And then at the end, when Goldie Hawn is Mrs. Claus, and then in the next one, when they're like basically Santa Claus and Mrs. Santa Claus, you're like, yay!
I loved it so much. Like it was cool enough seeing her as Mrs. Claus at the end. It was like, oh fuck yeah, Goldie Hawn! And then that she becomes like an actual character, and the second one is so good.
Oliver Hudson. Sorry, Oliver Hudson is the dad, the firefighter dad.
Okay.
Away.
I did not know that's who that was.
Hudson's, brother.
If you don't cry at the end of that when he hangs up the ornament, like get fucked. Like I that's when I'm grabbing the pillow and I'm just like, I gotta stretch so my wife doesn't see me ball my eyes out.
Well, in the sequel, when I think she runs into her dad at the airport or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man!
Like as a kid, like she gets to have that little like interaction. Oh my
time.
god, man!
Yeah. Like
movies,
once you
kill me.
Yeah,
kill me.
Yeah, that I again another one that I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch it because it's Kurt Russell, and I'll watch anything he's in. But I did not expect it to be that good. Did not see that coming.
Now, have either of you seen Pottersville?
No.
Next stop, Pottersville. No, I don't. I'd have to.
Pottersville is a fucking oddball Christmas movie, but has another ridiculous cast. And it was on Netflix for a few years in a row. And of course, now that I'm like trying to find it, it's not. So I'll have to go to Zia and see if I can get it on something. But it's Michael Shannon,
All right.
Ron Perlman, Christina Hendricks, and Thomas Lennon.
Whoa.
What
Huh?
is this
And he runs a small town like convenience store or whatever. Christina Hendricks is his wife, and he comes home to find her having an affair, but because she wants to be a furry, so she decides that they
better.
so basically he goes out, he gets drunk, he ends up in a gorilla suit that a ghillie suit's on top of, and people think that it's a Bigfoot sighting, and it starts drumming up business for the small town. Ron Perlman plays the sheriff. Thomas Lennon shows up as a reality show host who does like monster hunting to try to get the Sasquatch, but it all takes place during Christmas. It's about Christmas, and it's a weird oddball one, but I get a kick out of it every time I watch it.
Wow. I've never
Yeah,
heard of that.
it's a really weird
Wow.
deep cut. And then my last honorable mention is The Night Before, which is slowly becoming one of my favorite movies with Anthony Mackie, Seth Rogen, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon again is the angel.
That's awesome.
The weed dealing
Classics.
angel.
Hey, you want some weed?
It's so good. I love it. And I love Seth Rogen. There's a scene like it's the last time. Have you guys seen Night Before?
I've not seen that one. I know
No.
other.
So they're three friends. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's parents die when he's a teenager, and they spend Christmas with him, and it becomes a tradition. But now they've all decided there's one last hurrah of going out and debauchery, because Anthony Mackie is now an rising NFL star, and Seth Rogen is about to have his first kid. And his wife is the actress from Workaholics, the woman in the office, the blonde. Is she in Spirited as well? I can't remember her name. She's fucking outstanding, but she basically gives him a little tin, and it's one of every drug, so he can just go all out on his last night. But like he basically says, he's like, she doesn't do a lot of drugs. All these measurements are off. There's like, a couple hits of acid, and there's only like one bump of cocaine, and then it's hilarious. And there's a scene where he's trying to like be cool in a limo, and he's just not, because he's sweating and he's all fucked up, and he takes a bunch of I think he does acid or shrooms, but he ends up at Catholic Mass with his wife and her family, and he's like, I feel like everybody knows I'm Jewish in here, and she's like, they do, and he's like, how? And he's wearing a Jewish holiday sweater, and he's like, oh God, they know I killed Jesus. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Like, it's one of my favorites.
Brandon, you're not going to believe this. I think you're talking about Gillian Bell, who was in Workaholics, the blonde.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, and graduated from Bishop Gorman.
Holy shit!
No, I just looked her up because I'm like,
what year did she graduate?
She was born in '84, so she graduated
she would have been a little before
2002.
That's crazy! Holy shit!
I had no idea, and
I had no idea this whole time.
God damn it, Brandon! Why couldn't you have been born earlier?
I know, right? I would have been friends with her. But yeah, that's nuts. She's so good in this. She's great. Like, there's an awkward scene where Joseph Gordon-Levitt hugs her. He's like, oh my God.
Gordon-Levitt's in this?
That's what I said. He's the main three. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anthony Mackie, and Seth Rogen.
Well, clearly I was not paying attention.
But like, yeah, they go out, they do karaoke at the bar and all this stuff. And they just like have a night of crazy, and they're trying to get into this party that they can never get into. But yeah, she does a great job. It's definitely on my list of Christmas movies. You guys should check that one out.
Yeah, I would like to quickly rally off a few honorable mentions.
Yes.
That I'm surprised were brought up. Polar Express. Was surprised at that one. They drift a goddamn train, so I don't care what you say. That's pretty baller.
Drift a train, and I was about to be like, I don't like it as much because it's a pretty ridiculous movie, but I forgot that they do drift a train, and I will probably rewatch that now.
They drift a train.
I liked it, and I just kind of fallen out of love with it. I don't know why. It just hasn't stuck with me over the years.
I mean, it's the weird Robert Zemeckis, let's do Uncanny Valley mocap. It's not
Well,
bad.
They got the awesome
it's just,
music from Elf, but it works so much better in Elf.
Yeah. And then
and the fact that Tom Hanks plays every adult in the movie for the most part.
Yeah. Hot Chocolate is a goated song, but
I mean, Hot Chocolate's a pretty dope song.
and then there's Santa Claus, Tim Allen. That one's a classic.
But of course.
I love the sequel. I love that part where he goes to the school and they're having their office party sort of thing, and it's all like down the dumps, typical crappy office party. And then he's like, "What about presents?" The principal's like, "Oh, we don't have the funding for that." And all of a sudden, in order to impress her, he's got all the presents. I'm like, I fucking love that scene.
I will say that's a pretty solid sequel. Actually, the third one too. Like, it's Martin Short as Jack Frost, right? I enjoy all three of those films.
Even the TV show on Disney was pretty good. That the Santa Clauses that has just come out, that was entertaining. I was cool with it.
And then my last one, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's always
a classic.
What's this? What's this?
So I got a couple, and Brandon and I have talked about the one, Christmas with the Cranks. It makes no sense why I enjoyed it. Some of the shit in it makes no sense.
It's totally a cult. It's totally a cult.
Dan Aykroyd, Cheech Marin. I don't know why. I just like this movie. It's dumb, but I like that movie. So
I watch it every year, but like it makes less sense to me every year. And they're just like, they're so shitty to him the whole movie. He just wants to go on vacation, and they're like, this motherfucker.
Brandon, we know this. It's a cult.
He's so shitty too at the end when they save the day, and he's still like, "Why don't you say a word of nice?" He's like, "Yeah, ditto to what my wife."
Oh no, saying. Then you get it. Like why? Yeah. This is why everyone's being a dick to you, Tim Allen.
It's like, oh, but I don't know why. I enjoy that movie. It's good. Gremlins. I just love
Gremlins
that
is
movie.
Great, dude.
It's not scary, although it's a horror movie. It's PG, but it's the reason why we have PG-13. It hits me every time when she describes why she hates Christmas. And her dad got stuck in the chimney as Santa Claus and died. Like, God, that's horrible.
It's almost as good.
Pretty awful.
Yeah,
it's almost as good as the bulimia scene from Zoolander, where it's like, this is horrific, but I'm just gonna laugh because it's stupid.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that. You can read minds.
So Gremlins. I hate this special. But it has to be said because it does now exist in canon because of Life Day, the Star Wars Holiday Special. It is so painful to watch. It is literally the only Star Wars thing that I dread, even though it created Boba Fett. But it exists, and it exists with B. Arthur. So Star Wars, the Holiday Special.
I forget redeem it with the Lego one.
I was just coming up to, and then it totally redeemed himself. Thank you to the current Star Wars, Disney, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni.
Filoni?
What? Another famous director. The Lego Star Wars Holiday Special is just pure genius.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Time travel, the Emperor, Darth Vader, connecting all the damn movies, including the
I got you a Life Day present.
Oh my God.
What's this?
Hilarious. Yeah. Totally redeemed itself. And
what's great about that is that because it leans into the goofiness of what the original Christmas special was ended up being.
And made it Lego. So it was like, how are you going to hate that?
It's so love it. Grow up.
And then the one, again, like I didn't expect anything from it. I don't know why they made it, especially given the fact that they screwed over James Gunn as far as the Disney side of things. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I don't know.
It's so good, dude.
It's a man. Does this look like a man? It's a small man.
That time when you killed Jason Voorhees and saved the camp? Oh.
No. He killed me.
I love it.
Oh, he is an actor.
I fucking love that movie. It is so.
That is human trafficking.
Oh, so good. And the song they sing in the beginning when he's like, Will, I need you to go over this because I don't know anything about Christmas, but
Mistletoe.
So good.
Yeah, I love it. Love that movie.
I don't know if
such
you
a
saw,
good movie.
I don't know if either of you saw, but it looked like Ryan Reynolds teased a photo that they were filming a Deadpool Christmas special for
Okay, what
possibly next
happened?
year.
Next
No,
year,
I think it'll be next year.
please.
I
I want Wolverine being a douche. Can they please bring in the X-Men and it's like an X-Men Christmas?
I hope it's the cast that we see Jennifer Gardner, that we see Blade. Oh my God, how hilarious!
Oh,
Let's see
you know what I
Brandon
would
Legault again. Awesome.
I would
I'd
kill
love
for
that.
them to bring in like the X-Men when they did with Deadpool 2. And I would love it if Sinister just shows up out of nowhere to ruin Christmas. And it's like, why the fuck are you here, Sinister? What are you doing?
Well, the question, the main thing I'm wondering is if you're gonna have a Deadpool Christmas special, will Hugh Jackman show up? Like, will we get Wolverine for a Christmas special? Like,
Come on, it's got to happen.
The two Professor X's and Magnetos, that would be hilarious to have them both on screen.
God,
Who
they
knows?
age horribly.
But yeah, that could be exciting.
I would love that. Thank you, Brandon. It's a
You're
festive
welcome.
miracle.
Oh, that would be, I would kill for that. That would be so good.
Well, that's our Christmas roundup. I think that's the longest segment we've ever done ever. So
Hey,
Worth
it's
it.
Christmas.
fuck
It's
yeah,
worth
dude.
it. And we can spread it out across the 12 days of Christmas.
And if somehow we forgot one, please let us know.
I know we didn't say the Grinch or 8 Crazy Nights, any Grinch movie or like I enjoy those too. They're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But
You gotta
That was
as
a
far
big
as like
one.
yeah,
That was a
no,
big one.
I'm talking the original and Jim Carrey. The new animated one felt a little
Oh,
pushed.
Benedict
but,
Cumberbatch and his penguins?
yeah.
I'm not really a fan of any of those because it's sad.
8 Crazy Nights is fun.
Home
sorry,
Alone, because I know
Grinch.
people are going to get up in arms about that.
Home Alone is great too. I just watched Home Alone 1 and 2. I purposely leave the room now when he gets to the hotel for, MAGA reasons. But yeah.
I was in a Christmas
I
movie.
just saw a good one. This was hilarious. They should remake Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin as an adult, but now it's The Purge. And I'm like, I fucking love this idea. Do it during Christmas. It's The Purge, and he's saving his house. Do it.
That would actually be
Oh my
dope
God.
as hell.
R-rated
He's like,
Home Alone.
This isn't my first rodeo.
All right, fuckers. He just has a shotgun now, and he's like, yeah, try me,
That's so
bitch.
good.
Yeah.
Well, yes, please let us know what you guys think or thoughts or on all this, and if we missed anything, and ones we should check out if we didn't mention. But hope everyone has a great holiday, and thanks for watching.